Ciao, this is Marc Marcantonio with another Lowrance fishing tip for you. Today I want to show you one of the screens that I like to show on my HDS unit. When I'm running up the river like the Columbia River, there are places, you know, in the Columbia River where it's very, very shallow, particularly if you go up towards the Hanford Reach area. And one of the things that you must learn to do is you either have to have an awfully good memory of where the channel is throughout the entire stretch, or you're likely to find yourself in water that's too shallow and you're going to lose your lower unit or propeller or both. So one thing I've learned to do over the years is to set up my GPS so that I can follow my GPS. And I put trails that mark the channel where I want to be running, because you could be far away from shore and only be in a foot of water. So, and it's all rock, so there's no second chance, there's no forgiving. So what I like to do when I'm running up to the reach is I like to have two maps on my display, not just one. I like to have two. One that I have zoomed way in so I can follow my trail precisely on my screen. The second chart I have zoomed out so that I can see when there are sharp bends coming up ahead or shifts in the direction that the channel is going to go. So by having a far view and a close view, I'm able to stay right in the channel and I can pay attention to what's going on and keep from getting into trouble. So let me show you how I set that screen up on my HDS Live 12 here. So I have it on a chart page right now. Let's go ahead and set up a chart page specifically for doing this purpose. So you press the Pages button once, and then over here you've got shortcuts, just like the old preset buttons on your radio for us old timers. There are presets, and here's one that hasn't been set up yet, so I'm going to press plus on that to start a new preset. Now I do like to see my sonar, and so I'll go ahead and put sonar on there too, and I'll just take the sonar panel, drag it over, and I'll take chart and drag it over, and I'll take chart again and drag it over. So I've got two charts. Now I can change the configuration, and I'm going to put it into a configuration like this, but I'm going to drag the sonar panel over to the right. So now I have it preset into thirds with two charts and a sonar panel. And I'm going to save that. So press save, and now you see that comes up on the display, and you can move your menu off, and that's how it shows. Now I'd like to have a little more room on my chart, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust the panel sizes. So press the power button once quickly, and you'll see on here where it has the adjust splits. Touch that button, and now I can move my sonar screen much shorter because I'm going fast, so I don't care about what the sonar history is. I just want to see where I'm at right now. And then I'll drag this one, and I'll make it bring it over here a little bit further to about there. Now I'll use this big one for my close-up one, and this is a little bit smaller, and I'll use that for my distant view, which will suit me just fine. And then hit save, and now I have that set up here. A little bit of a sonar, a panel that's close up, and a panel that's far away. So you can adjust the zoom on those to give you a very distant shot, and this one to give you close up, detail. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So set your center one up as the one that you're going to rely on when you're running up the channel at 65 miles an hour, going fast. And so you will have a trail that you can follow on there, and your boat icon will be in the center, and it's easy to follow. And the distant view will show you where the river bends and curves so that you can anticipate that before it actually happens, and always be ready to turn the steering wheel in the right direction. So relatively simple tip. A lot of people don't even think about doing that. Another interesting way to use this with two different maps, you can actually put two different charts in here at the same time. So for instance, on Lake Washington, I like to use my Navionics chip to find a lot of the offshore structure that's around. But the Lowrance map that's in here, built in, actually does a better job of showing me all the docks that are on the lake and exactly what shape the docks are. So if I'm looking for T-shaped docks, I can look at my Lowrance chart real quickly and I can see where all those T-shaped docks are located. So just simply touch whichever panel, you make it active by putting an orange border around it, go into menu, go into more options, and down here where it says chart source, you can pick which chart you want, whether you want the built-in CMAP Lowrance chart or whether you want the Navionics chart. And you can set that for whichever one you want, and you can set it for the other one on the other chart, and you watch two different charts at the same time. Like I say, I found a lot of underwater structure like that one chart shows the wrecks a lot better than the other, one shows docks a lot better, so no two maps are exactly alike. This little tip lets you view both at the same time if you want. So there's two different ways that you can use a split screen with more than one chart on at the same time. Hope that works for you. This is Marc Marcantonio. Ciao.